Hey YouTube, it's Marcus here from Marcus Pipes Up, and looking Irish Flake this morning. It's a little cooler. Drinking coffee, and all right. So this week in the news, there was some revelations about the Clinton during the election, possibly funding. Actually, well, I guess they know that they funded the paper that says Trump, had prostitutes pee on him and on a bed that the Obamas slept on, and other things that some of them I understand has been substantiated. Not that part, because I think that sounds like an obvious embellishment to me, honestly. That if you hate Trump, it's like, yeah, he's a freak. So, why they put that in there, I have no idea. But from what I understand so far, that they know that dossier that was put together was initially started to be paid for by some Republican that they don't know who. And then once his guy was out of the race or whatever, he dropped it and said, do whatever you want. And they went to the Democrats and the Clintons and said, hey, you want some of this? You want in on this? I said, sure. And which that in and of itself isn't really illegal per se. Them lying about it is because they lied to Congress about knowing anything about it. Lying to Congress is illegal. But yeah, I mean, people have also been talking about this, about the thing way back when a Russian company, got the rights to 20% of the United States uranium deposits, and while Mrs. Clinton was Secretary of State and had to sign off on it. And apparently we now know that the FBI already knew all of it back then, that Russians were giving the Clintons millions of dollars through bill speaking engagements. Apparently if you want Bill Clinton to speak at your thing, it's going to cost $1 million, and then or it costs over $1 million, and then the Clinton Foundation and everything. And honestly, from what we know about the Clintons, not supposition, and they kill people, have people killed and stuff like that, which I'm not going to get into the conspiracies with them because they're basically a walking conspiracy. Conspiracy theory, and I don't want to get into that, but honestly, these revelations, is anyone surprised? Like, does this surprise anyone? Even if you haven't caught up with the news and stuff, the stuff that I'm saying, does it sound that far-fetched? Because we've known the Clintons, and they've been in the public eye, and honestly, as a political group, they've been kind of a walking joke ever since I was growing up. I'm 30 now, so yeah, I grew up under the Clinton administration and all that. All that drama with the impeachment and everything. I look back on it now and it's like, we've come so far since then. As far as what's considered acceptable behavior. It's not even funny. And, for those that are old enough to remember, it's like, the real kicker was, or the thing that started everything off was him dealing with the Chinese and possibly selling military secrets to the Chinese. That was the real story. But it got overshadowed because he blew up some girl's skirt. But anyway, I don't understand how the Clintons got. Well, I understand how they got to where they are. But how did Hillary Clinton almost win the presidency? I mean, honestly. Because we already knew that she signed off on Russians getting 20% of the uranium. And then a few years later, they're going to turn around. Well, let's back up a second. The election with between Barack Obama and the second one with Mitt Romney. In 2012. All right, Mitt Romney says something about the Russians. And that's a running joke on the Democrat side, being like, oh man, it's like the Cold War's over, and the Russians are fine. Hillary Clinton's like, the reset with Russia, and all this other things, how, Putin's, our best friend, and yada yada, blah, 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 all this, pro-Russian shit. To the point where they're handing off 20% of United States uranium to Russian hands so they can sell to whoever they want. And then we come around to this election, and because Trump was cordial towards the Russia question, which honestly, I think he was just being kind of, maybe a wink and a nod, but not, to be pro-Russia necessarily, but maybe, maybe we can make a deal. Because do we want to be in a fight with everyone in that region? But anyway. We go from that, and then this election, they flip the script and say, Russia's the biggest enemy because Trump likes them. So, it's just like, does no one remember, just a few years ago they were singing the Russians' praises and doing all these things? And does it surprise anybody that they were, kissing the Russians' butts and then turn around and say that Russia is, the biggest enemy that we have right now because, your enemy likes them or seems to be cordial with them? And it just shows you, how in politics, the truth doesn't matter. It really doesn't to these people, to politicians. They're going to say whatever they think that people want to hear. And that's the truth. And then they're going to do whatever they want to do. So why are we supporting all these politicians that are going to lie to our faces and then turn around and do whatever the hell they want? Now, as a caveat, I do support our government. I just think it's the people's responsibility to be a check on government, and it doesn't seem like anybody gives a shit. So, tell me what you guys think. Comment below. And does any of this surprise you? If not, make a comment, like the video. I'll sign off now. Have a good day. Thanks, guys.